Man, it's been a while. As you can see, we got Blightlord Terminators still on my desk. Because this is basically the last Warhammer project that I worked on. The last live stream that I did was these guys, and they're still here. You might be wondering why. Get all this cleaned up. This guy looks like fun. I need a nice way to ease my way back in. Yeah, we turned this guy. I think the plan was to turn into a Space Marine. Not that you have to do much, honestly, to make that happen. We'll have to dig through some bits. Do I want to go hood or no? I remember when this model was announced, I was stoked for it. I picked this thing up months ago. Popped the box open. It'll be a simple little build here. Nothing too complicated. So I made this channel, honestly, on kind of a whim, and was not expecting to put a ton of time into the channel. As I got going, though, I really enjoyed making videos and engaging with the audience, and some ADHD took over a little bit, and it became something that I hadn't intended it to become. That's the arm right there. It's got some chain on there. It's interesting. I started by doing some kind of long form videos and then making shorts out of those. The shorts got more views and engagement. And then I also decided to live stream. I did that, and that's where a lot of you probably discovered me. At least a lot of you watching this video. I don't think the majority of my subscribers came from live streams, but definitely the majority of you who are wondering where the heck I've been probably found me in live stream. Or maybe you were subscribed first, I don't know. However, I quickly felt pressure to do all of the things. I had ideas for long form content, there was shorts and so forth that I wanted to get posted to grow the channel, and then there were people who wanted me to live stream. And in all honesty, it's kind of humbling to know that there were people out there that were actually entertained by me, you know, just building Warhammer models, even if it was a relatively small number of people. I'm not particularly talented. I'm not a great painter or kitbasher or anything, really. And I'm very, very busy with the rest of my life, which is why this is like the first time in months that I've actually sat down to build a model or record a video or anything like that. I know there were a lot of folks worried about me in the Discord, and I want to thank you guys for your concern. I've seen your messages. When this video goes live, I will be posting something in there. I totally understand that I kind of just ghosted you guys and didn't say much or really anything at all, and the reason why is that I was honestly overwhelmed. I burnt myself out. I was doing too much in too many different directions, and Warhammer went from being something I did to relax and unwind and became something where I was putting pressure on myself. I was putting pressure on myself to produce something creatively in a certain window of time. As much fun as that would be to, like, you know, make YouTube videos and be a full-time content creator, I don't have the bandwidth to do that. I just simply do not. And not only do I have work and family, I have 3 young kids with now a 4th on the way since the last time I posted. Not only do I have all of that, but I also have a major creative project that I have to get work on. That's not Warhammer. I have a major creative passion outside of Warhammer that, if I'm being honest, I was neglecting for a while. So this summer and into this fall turned out to just be kind of a major reset for me. Well, hello there. You don't want to be here. Get going, Spider Buddy. Yeah, it turned into kind of a major reset for me, getting my priorities straight. And when I'm burnt out, I have to unplug. And when I unplug hard. I wasn't just unplugged from the YouTube channel either. I was unplugged from a few other things that are totally unrelated, because I just needed to sort of, again, hit the reset button and recenter my priorities. I knew I didn't want to abandon the channel, but I had to decide what kind of content I wanted to create. I know now I cannot do it all. I cannot do all the things, and I don't have the bandwidth to be the type of Warhammer content creator that everybody is looking for or interested in. I am not super adept in the lore, so I can't really competently make lore videos. I don't really keep up on all the news related to Warhammer, so turning into a Warhammer news channel just doesn't make any sense. And like I said previously, I am not an expert painter. I actually work fairly slowly with the amount of time that I have. I have a lot of projects going at the same time, and I make a little bit of progress on each of them gradually. That's just how I enjoy doing Warhammer. And so I think the vibe that I'm kind of going for is just a Warhammer chill channel, if such a thing exists. I'm going to build some models, paint some stuff, maybe do some terrain, and I'm going to talk to the camera. And it's kind of like we're hanging out. Something that you can watch while you're maybe building models yourself. Along the way, I might throw out some tips or some advice or some things that I learned, but I am by no means an expert. I'm going to treat this channel as if that's what it is. So I think I'm going to shift my focus to more long-form content, meaning not YouTube shorts. Focus on videos that are like around 8 minutes, which YouTube seems to like, and work on some projects over time, knowing that, you know what, maybe I have to release a project in multiple parts. By the time it's all said and done, somebody can come along and see that whole process. Because right now, it's messy and incomplete. Doesn't mean it's not valuable. It doesn't mean it's a waste of my time. That's the kind of overthinking that has paralyzed me in the past with creative projects, and I am trying to be more self-aware about it. I also had this fun experience on TikTok because I started posting some videos there too. And I say fun sarcastically because it was not particularly fun. Some of you might remember this guy, this tank that I printed, didn't know it was hollow, exploded, the whole shebang. It was quite the experience. I documented it immediately after it happened and posted it on TikTok. To date, it has the most views of any of my videos, either on TikTok or YouTube, and the most comments and engagement by far. The whole point of the video was to tell people, hey, this is a mistake I made. Don't make the same mistake yourself. But of course, the internet does what the internet does, and a lot of people came to that video and told me I was an idiot, among other things. Or maybe didn't listen all the way through the video where I said, hey, this was a mistake, don't do this, that sort of thing. And they just told me I shouldn't have done what I did. Yeah, I totally figured that out. I knew that, in fact. Anyway, this whole interaction really turned me off of posting that kind of content. That's just not the type of interaction I am looking for. Sort of the drive-by internet comments that short-form content tends to attract. And so for that reason, I'm probably not going to be posting very many shorts. Maybe some funny highlight moments here or there like I used to do, things like that, but not the kind of content that I was doing before. Now, some people might say that, oh, it's just the internet, don't worry about those people, don't listen to them. And I totally hear you. I stopped listening to them. And believe me, I've got a thick skin. Nothing anybody said actually hurt my feelings or, led me to give up the hobby. It just required me to take a step back and assess, what am I really doing here? Is this the kind of attention that I'm wanting to get on social media? That sort of thing. It also made it hard for me to live stream when I was focusing on all this other content. I was thinking about making YouTube shorts and long form videos, and people wanted me to live stream, and it was hard to fit into my schedule sometimes and then balance with the other things that I wanted to do. Basically, creating content for Warhammer was taking over all these other aspects of my life that I hadn't intended it to. And that is no fault of those of you who were viewers of the channel or were there when I live streamed or were fans or anything like that. It's not your fault at all. It's my fault. I did not know how to balance all of these things. I bit off more than I could chew. You guys bear none of the blame whatsoever in this. It is 100% me. I do want to come back to live streaming in some capacity, though I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't have a schedule that would really allow me to consistently live stream the same day every week, same time. And I have, like I said, other projects that are demanding of my time. So live streams might be occasional, maybe once or twice a month, and more kind of spur of the moment, drop of the hat sort of thing. I almost had it. Okay, so far, looking good. Suffice to say, the channel is going to be a little bit different than it maybe was before. understandably, some of you might not be interested in that. You might have preferred what I was doing before. I totally get that. This is just a decision I have to make for myself. I did not really look at the instructions that closely. So how the hell is this thing attached? Okay, there, yeah, okay, I figured that out. Okay, he's looking pretty good so far. Everything up until here, you know, totally fine. But we've got to make him a Space Marine now. So that's going to require a few bits of stuff, the bits box here. So I've got my Blood Angels shoulder pads for my, well, should clarify, my Blood Angel Successor Chapter shoulder pads. So we're going to need one of those. This guy's also a chaplain. Now, there is this shoulder pad, which does have a skull on it, and I do like it. I do like this a lot. It's maybe technically not, you know, chaplain-esque. Is there a way to put these together? Probably, but not with the wings. We're just gonna have to go with, I think, a simple backpack and then attach this onto the back. We got some chaplain bits around here somewhere. Oh well, I think we'll just use the one shoulder that came with it. Obviously, we'll ditch the Sigmar shoulder, but you know what? This is still skull-shaped enough. It will stand out, so I'm good with that. Is that one? Now let's just see. Okay, yeah, I like how that adds to the silhouette. Definitely gives it more of a Space Marine silhouette. The position of the other arm, there's definitely a little bit of a mismatch there, but because his arm is like up, you know, not going to be quite as obvious. So we're just going to need some resin glue now. Still as satisfying as ever using this stuff. Now for the backpack and this thing, we're going to need to snip off this little nub. Not going to make for the best. We're going to need to shave this down too. Hopefully that's not really going to get seen. So if it's ugly, it doesn't really matter. Okay, we've got a flat surface there. We can now affix this tube pretty well. So let's try it this way. Okay, it just hardened everything, but that's what happens when you're working with two different material. Doesn't always want to play nice. Come back and rough up the surface. I think we'll just use some regular super glue instead. Oh no, here we go. Some hooker. We're just gonna let that sit there for a little bit. Yeah, okay. Let's figure out the head. I do really like the hood. That kind of screams Dark Angels to me. This guy is not a Dark Angel. I think we're just gonna go with the straight up skull. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. I do really like the hood though, but this is very, like almost, I don't know, this is maybe giving some Sanguinor vibes a little bit. Let's see what I think about it. Yeah, tough call, for sure. Tough call, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the hood. Yeah, I feel good about that. Okay. Cool. So has this solidified? It has. Now the trick is gonna be getting it onto the back, because there's this giant hammer here. I didn't think about that, did I? Probably could have repositioned. That cement's gonna be hard by now, isn't it? No? Hey, oh, it's my lucky day. Let's get this backpack on here first, and then we'll come back and make the necessary adjustments. It's kind of odd where I'm gonna have to place this thing. I think green stuff is actually gonna be our best bet, because you wanna actually build up some material in there, fully support the backpack. Oh, yeah. See, that lets us float it just a little bit away from the back of the shoulder pads. It's a little bit squeezing out here. Of course, dropping. That's the part of the process. Okay, now repositioning this. Okay, that would be kind of dumb, but it would work. We're just gonna have to change the angle slightly. Yeah, it's not gonna be too bad. Let's just clean this up a little bit. Just remove a little bit of material, not too much. And actually maybe a little bit more. Let's just full send this. Okay. In the end, it's a very subtle change. It gives us just enough room to fit that backpack. He's got this waist piece that I totally neglected. Maybe I should have looked at the instructions. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's what that. Let's get some cement on there. Perfect. I feel like that goes with it. Like, that fits the Space Marine vibe without needing much modification. I mean, technically, we've got an hourglass here, so that's more Judiciar than it is Chaplain, but whatever. They're both, isn't just a Judiciar just somebody who's training to be a Chaplain? I can't remember. Anyway, the skeleton on the banner needs its head and stuff. I think the best place to put that is just literally a small piece there, so a little bit should do. We do also have to address that Sigmar. That might be easier to deal with using paint. My blade is you know, this is kind of fragile. I don't want to snap this thing. So I think I'm just going to deal with that when I get to painting, or I might actually take some super glue, just put it in there to kind of flatten that out or something to that effect. And of course the arm is moving now. I had you in there. There's not enough contact points. Well, we will let that rest. Now he does need pistol at the very least. I have a spare one here that we can add to his waist. It's gonna be in kind of a weird spot, shifting going on around there. Yeah, this is a hot mess. That's a sneaky spot to fit that in. Oh, I still want to bring it down just a little bit. That way we're just clearly, you know, pointing out that he is in fact in 41st millennium. There's definitely much more that we could do, but I kind of feel like, you know, let's take it easy for now. I want to base this guy. And I want to kind of put him toward the back of the base so we have plenty of room in the front of the base to add some detail here, unobstructed. So we will place him down there. Yeah, I think that gives us plenty of room to work with. You have some of my trusty broken glass shards that we'll be putting down there. Some 3D printed skulls and bones, maybe. Also really want to use one of these guys. This is like a D&D type thing. Gonna use it more like this is a sculpture than an actual skull. That's how I'm gonna treat it. It's got this raised base here that just isn't gonna work very well. So we're gonna trim that off. Let's see. I mean, there's not a lot of room there. Yeah, he kind of takes up a lot of space. He's a big boy. And unfortunately, that's why I haven't really used these yet. It's because they're just so big. Oh, maybe I'm changing my mind on this. Yeah, I think we're going to kind of simplify. Now, this one's good looking right here. They can kind of go right in the front. A pile of skulls there. A few more. A few random places here. That. Try out some of this stuff. This is kind of some basic sand, some hobby sand. A little bit finer, softer than kind of the typical dollar store stuff that I tend to use. Let's not make a mess of the desk. Sprinkle a little in all over. Is this dried in the back? Okay. All right, so there we go. Good way to get back into the swing of things here. So you'll be seeing me again. Don't worry. Just keep tabs on the channel here. I'll post some updates, that sort of thing. Can't promise that it's going to be super frequent, but you know, I'm just going to try to record more videos like this, post these. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.